Alright, I'm going to start with the passenger side seat. This doesn't have a power option, so it's just a manual seat. It's got 3 airbag connectors. Like I say, you push this one to release. You got to pull this black tab out, and then you got to push down to release that. And then this is for the passenger presence system, which it detects what's the weight in the seat, for the airbags and all that. This one you have to slide out and then push down to disengage that. Same clip that attaches it to the seat frame. And then to remove this seat panel, you have a screw that holds the handle on, and then right below that is another screw that holds this whole panel down to the seat. Just give it a couple pops there to release all the retainers. Slide that out forward. As you can see, it's hinged right down there again, and then the same procedure as you're going to undo all the plastic the edging on there to pull the material up. Okay, this is the passenger seat. You can see the elements all down, tucked in. The double side tape's pulled on it. I was able to get my other hog ring pliers. Show you kind of how these tool works a little better. You just kind of, when you put it in there, it actually holds a lot better than that Dorman tool. So when you squeeze it, it actually does a nice bend and closes. So, like I say, if you want to, I don't see no problems with these zip ties. It's just basically for assembly line. It's a lot easier to put them hog rings on than to feed these zip ties through. Zip ties are going to hold just as good. I mean, if you got that much force, you're going to break the foam on it anyways. So I don't think these are going to break or cause any problems. But these are what the hog rings look like. And like I say, they're easier to put on for the assembly line, and they're probably just as cheap. So it's your preference. Say the Dorman, the tool you get with that one, it's pretty bad. It doesn't work worth anything. If you need to pick up a better tool, this is what they look like. They're notched and grooved, just to make it a lot easier. So with that said, I guess since I have my tool here, I'm just going to finish this side and the hog rings. I'll try to show you how to install the hog rings, which is kind of hard to do. I'll try to do it one-handed here, holding this camera. But as you can see, they go in this hole here. They hook down, and then they hook around this. It's like this other wire that's embedded into the foam. So I'm going to try to show you how to do it and hold all this at one time. It's a hog ring. Say it's holding on the pliers. You take the plier end, you hook it to the seat material, and you push down on the foam, and you squeeze it together. And if you can see, it made a nice loop around it, holding it nice and tight. Like I say, it's a lot faster to do assembly line, so that's why they use it. So it's your preference, but I would invest in a tool and maybe extra hog rings if it's your first time, because it's definitely a skill. Alright, here's the passenger side seat back. I say there's 3 hog rings that go there. This is all Velcro. Some seat manufacturers use all Velcro, no hog rings, but like I say, the 3 hog rings, you just remove those, pull the seat up. As you see, this is where it's going to go. We're going to just give this a little tuck in there, and we're going to use the 1 hog ring to hold it down, because we don't want to come close to these wires. Tuck the wire underneath out through the back. I'm just going to drop this, pull this double-sided tape off, work my way from the bottom to the top. Just give it a little tuck in the groove there. Lay the seat back down, put the 1 hog ring in, tuck all the material back down. Okay, what I've done is I routed the harnesses through the carpet on both sides. As you can see, this is kind of loosely fitted, so you can reach your hand under there. fit everything through the carpet. I got everything routed up here in the center console, which is a pretty good amount of room down here to hide the relays, which is this harness here, which is a pretty big harness. In this other one I put some conduit on, because this side's going to go all the way over to the fuse panel, which I got both side leads, powers and grounds, everything's going there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route that through to the other side. I'm going to attach it to a bracket or whatnot away from the steering column, use zip ties, and then I'm going to show you the fuse tap I put in to power up this seated heats circuit, and then I'll show you putting the switches in. I'm going to try to go in the OE spot here on the shifter area. This is the original switch cover plate, which, as you can tell, it's probably the same guts as used if it had the heated cold seat option. But unfortunately, you got to take it apart because all you need is the top piece. What I did is I masked this off, put a piece of masking tape, found the center of it. I used a one of these uni bits. I think it says 3/4. Went all the way up to 3/4. Then I just used a little Dremel just to clean out the holes. What we'll do is we'll fish these switch wires through there. Can't use this no more, unfortunately, because of the switches. So probably just use some double-sided tape on the edge here. I don't see there's any big problems with it, but should give it that OE look, and should be better than putting it on the side of the seat, which I don't like them when they're on the side of the seat anyways. Okay, here's a little rundown of where I got the wiring. Those are the two connectors that are going to go to the on-off switches. You see I have the harness that's taped to that shifter there just to keep everything from rattling and whatnot. It's all free and clear from the shifter linkage. And that's about it. The other end goes through the bottom there and it crosses over to the fuse panel, which is all zip tied, secured to bracing and everything. It's clear of the steering column and whatnot. The ground was made right there at the metal support beam. I'll take better pictures of the fuse panel once I complete the circuit and make it all finalized. Okay, I'm going to go over the power connection here for the both heated seats. Due to the fact that this uses those real tiny micro fuses, I'm not going to use fuse taps because there's a good chance of making the connection, the fuse box all worn out and causing problems down the road, since this is a brand new car. So what I did is I looked online, got the schematics for ignition on power, which you can use this orange wire. It's right on the back of the fuse panel. You just cycle this clip down, pull the harness down, and you can feed both seated heats off this, even some more things if you go down the road that you need to add. So I'm going to put a little extension on this wire, and then I'll connect the heated seats to that, which you have two inline fuses. Those I'll solder into that, heat shrink all that. The ground is already there. That's the last thing we got to do, and then button these panels back up, and it should be all done. Okay, everything's done. This is where the switches are all mounted. I got them a little bit orientated for the driver and passenger. We'll go through and just check them out. They're actually warming up pretty nice. '85, '86. Good heat versus just a cold seat there. Check the drivers out. Seems to be working good. Versus just a cold seat.